Now it's time, snuggle up, little one. Hold me tight, snuggle up, day is done.
It's bedtime with Barney all over the world. Bedtime with Barney for all boys and girls.
Oh, I love story time. Now it's time, snuggle up, little one. Let me read just for you. You're the one.
It's bedtime with Barney, so come gather round. Bedtime with Barney.
And we're story bound. Hi there, it's your friend Barney. What a special treat I have for you tonight. It's a story that comes all the way from Korea. Do you know where Korea is? It's another country, far, far away on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. Maybe later someone can show you where Korea is on a map. Then you'll know just how far this story has traveled. Okay, are you snuggled up in bed? All nice and comfy cozy? Great. Then here we go. Once upon a time, long ago in the far-off land of Korea, there lived a happy young farmer and his wife. With them on their farm in the countryside also lived their young son and the wife's parents, who were very old. They were a very happy family. One night at dinner, the young farmer told his family that the next morning he had to leave for town.
I must go to town for my work, but I will only be away for a few days.
Every time the farmer went to town for work, he always returned home with a special gift for his wife. This time, his wife knew exactly what she wanted. Her comb was old and worn out.
Will you bring me a new comb?
The farmer wanted to make his wife happy. He smiled and nodded.
Anything for you, dear wife.
Now the farmer was a loving husband and a wonderful father. But he did have one little problem. He often forgot things. Sometimes he'd forget where he put his hat or his coat. The farmer's wife wanted that new comb very much. But she had to think of some way to help him remember.
Let me see.
As she thought, the farmer's wife happened to look out the window. There, in the clear night sky, was the moon. It was a brand new moon, a thin slice of curved light, shaped like the letter C. You know what the letter C looks like, don't you? Anyway, the moon that night looked almost exactly like the comb that the farmer's wife wanted. Suddenly, she had an idea.
My husband, come to the window. Look, see the moon?
Yes, it shines bright on such a beautiful night.
When you are finished with your work in town and ready to come home, look up at the moon. The shape of the moon will remind you to bring me the comb.
The very next day, the farmer set out for town. The town was very busy with many storekeepers and shoppers. Do you ever go shopping? You do? Then you know what I mean. The farmer worked very hard, and his work went well. But it took him much longer than he expected. Instead of being in town for a few nights, he was there for 3 whole long weeks. But finally he finished his work. After a long day, the farmer was ready to return home to his family. He began to pack for the trip. The farmer couldn't help but think of his young son and his wife. Oh, his wife! A gift! He had promised to bring her a special gift. Now, what was it she wanted? The farmer thought and thought. Late afternoon turned into night as he thought. Finally, as he lay on his back, looking at the dark sky, he suddenly remembered.
The moon. She wanted something shaped like the moon.
But the farmer had been away from home for so long that the moon was no longer shaped like the comb his wife wanted. Now it was a full moon, big and round. Uh-oh, looks like the farmer is being forgetful again. The farmer went straight to the nearest shop and found the owner.
May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to buy a special gift for my wife. Something shaped like the moon.
The shop owner looked out the window at the bright full moon. He thought for a moment.
Something shaped like the moon.
Then, from beneath the counter, he pulled out a beautiful round mirror.
This is shaped like the moon. Your wife will like it very much.
Did the farmer's wife want a round gift, shaped like a full moon? No. Now, don't forget, the farmer and his wife lived a very long time ago. So long ago that most people didn't know what a mirror was. They had never seen one before. The country farmer had never seen one before, so when the shop owner handed it to him, he looked over the mirror very carefully when he saw the reflection of a man just about his age and dressed exactly like him. The farmer could hardly believe his eyes. He wasn't quite sure what a mirror was, but he knew he had a very special gift for his wife, and shaped exactly like the moon. The farmer couldn't wait to get home to present his wife with the moon-shaped gift.
Dear wife, I'm home, and here is your gift, shaped just exactly like the moon.
The farmer's wife had never seen a mirror before either. She took it from her husband and examined it curiously for a moment. When she turned it just right and noticed her own reflection, her look of surprise slowly turned to anger.
I asked my husband to bring me a comb shaped like the moon, and he brings me a round picture of a young woman.
The farmer didn't know what to say.
But I thought you'd like it. It is shaped like the moon.
The young wife shook her head and handed the mirror to her mother. The grandmother also examined the surprising object, then held it up and saw her reflection. A wrinkled old face.
Silly daughter. This is no young woman. This is a beautiful old woman.
You are wrong. It is a pretty young woman.
No, you were wrong. It is a pretty white-haired old woman.
Just then, the youngest member of the family, the young son, bounded into the room, eating a rice cake. The young boy took the mirror from his grandmother. But when he held it up, he didn't see a young woman or an old woman. He saw a young boy eating a rice cake. His rice cake. The boy couldn't believe his eyes, and he was mad.
Thief, give me back my rice cake.
The boy shook his fist at the boy in the mirror, but the boy in the mirror shook his fist right back. Uh-oh, the boy began to cry.
Give me back my rice cake.
All this arguing and crying was more than the grandfather could bear. He hurried into the room to see what was the matter.
What's wrong?
That boy has stolen my rice cake.
The boy wiped away his tears and handed his grandfather the mirror. But when the grandfather looked into the mirror, he didn't see a boy with a stolen rice cake at all. He saw an angry old man. Now the grandfather began to yell at the mirror. Can you believe that? Yelling at a mirror? Mirrors don't understand, do they?
Listen, old man, nobody steals from my grandson, you understand? I'm going to teach you a lesson.
The angry grandfather balled up his fist and... Oh, goodness me! He broke the mirror with his fist. The entire family looked at the pieces of the broken mirror. For a moment, nobody spoke. Grandmother looked at grandfather. The farmer looked at his wife. Finally, the boy spoke.
I think the thief is gone now.
The farmer began to laugh.
Tomorrow, dear wife, you and I will go to town to buy your new comb.
The end. So, what do you think? What a funny story. And can you believe how confused the farmer and his family were by a mirror? And it all happened because the forgetful farmer worked in town for so long that the moon changed shapes. Isn't that interesting? I think we'll have to find some more stories from around the world. But first, it's time to go to sleep. So lay your head down on your pillow. pull your blanket right up under your chin and say goodnight. Time to sleep, time to dream, little one. Close your eyes, covers up, night has come.